It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Howdy, little lady.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Oh, yes.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Looking for some bargains?
The aim? To make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners.
Yes!
It is my lucky day.
And valiant losers.
I actually can't believe that.
Annoying.
Will it be the high road to glory?
Yo. Or the slow road to disaster.
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Bore da and croeso I Cymru. We're back in sunny Wales.
You're really putting me in mind of Jack Nicholson this morning.
I'm funneling my Uncle Jack.
Have you seen As Good As It Gets? I mean, very grumpy neighbour.
It's Natasha Raskin-Sharp at the wheel, and here's Jack Nicholson. No, James Braxton in the passenger seat.
Smell this.
Good. Do you know what that smells like?
What?
Expensive.
It is expensive.
Is it reassuringly expensive?
Reassuringly expensive.
A scent fit to match the luxury 1967 Daimler Sovereign you're driving.
Are you spritzing up at the doctor? Oh, shocking.
Right, well, I think it's always nice to smell nice, isn't it?
It is. Can I have a squirt, or is it too expensive? Oh, that's something. Yeah. Oh,
That-
it's
yeah.
strong.
It's strong, isn't it?
Oh.
They'll certainly smell you coming. This is the second leg of our wander through Wales. Last time out, James did his best to get ahead.
Is it good or is it a bit spooky?
But Natasha marched to the beat of her own drum.
I'm starting a band.
And on our first trip to the sale room,
At 120.
she was left speechless after taking the lead, making it 1-0 in our best-of-5 auctions.
Well, the victory feels good, I have to say. I'm not one of life's winners, so it feels good to have that little victory.
And there's no whiff of cheating about it.
Not a whiff. Excuse me.
No whiff.
The only whiff is your after.
Some might call it the sweet smell of success. This tour kicked off in West Glamorgan. We're going to stay in Dragon Country this leg before crossing the border and making our way through England, heading ever northwards for a final shopping sortie in Scotland.
How do you move cheese in Wales? Come on, James.
Slowly.
Carefully.
Ah, very good.
James, are you...
Very good.
Cheesy puns! I can and bear it! This leg's shopping concludes in Monmouth. But first up, James is being dropped off in Pontypridd. Lovely. This bustling market town has a unique claim to fame. It's the green grass of home for Sir Tom Jones, and it's also home to Anagram Antiques.
Ah.
Based inside the Pontypridd indoor market, this cosy little shop is run by owners Steve and Elaine.
Hello.
Hello, James.
Hello. I see something twinkling on my right. What's all this green glass in there?
Some uranium glass.
That sounds almost dangerous, Steve. Is it?
It's not as dangerous as people like to think.
Isn't it irradiating something?
Very slightly. It's about the same as the background atmosphere. Majority is made between the Victorian era and the Art Deco period.
Joseph Riedel is often credited with inventing uranium glass in the 1830s. With small traces of the radioactive agent uranium added to the glass, under UV light it glows bright green. It's widely collected.
Should I be wearing gloves and goggles or not?
I'm not.
But you were 6'3" when you arrived, Elaine. How's that worked? It looks quite Art Nouveau, doesn't it? Naughty 90s, 1890s,
Yeah.
with this rather nice frilly collar. Very organic. And does this radiate and glow in the dark?
It does glow in the dark.
Look at that. Spooky. It's giving something back, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a living thing. Ah, magically we're lit again. It's an interesting piece. How much are you selling this for? What's
That
this, sir?
piece is £95.
£95. That's very interesting. It's good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to peruse the rest of your stock, see if I can find a bargain.
OK, James?
And while James gets browsing, we'll check in with Natasha, who's 10 miles away in Tretomas. She has an appointment at Retro Revivals. Oh, spotted something already.
Oh, look at this. A rummage awaits.
This vintage shop stocks an eclectic mix of antiques and upcycled pieces. Owner Helen believes in reuse and saving items from landfill. She's ably assisted by her pooch, Henry.
Right, there was something that I saw when I walked past the window. Yes. Steady.
Careful.
Doesn't that make a nice sound? Oh, right. So what I've picked out the windowsill, 2 Victorian milk glass lustres that basically do nothing but look pretty. They are really just a bit of a show of wealth, I would imagine. This kind of crimped, scalloped edge is really in nice condition for the age. I mean, they're glass, so how easily damaged? And I think every glass drop is present. So we'll see what Helen wants for them. Shine on. Yeah, and wouldn't they make amazing earrings if they fell off? I mean, spectacular. Spectacular. Pat Butcher, eat your heart out.
You're having a laugh. No price tag, though. So let's keep rummaging.
When you see a stack of plates like this, you have to go through them. So that's not exciting. That's sweet. I love willow pattern. Very romantic, very, very romantic. Okay, now we're in what was Czechoslovakia. Now we're in Staffordshire. Oh, actually, now we're in China, which is quite nice. Now, put that down carefully, because all of a sudden, from 19th century England at the top, we're now in 18th century China. So a nice tin glaze plate, earthenware, and just really quite pretty. It has that naivety, doesn't it? I mean, straight away you can see that it's painted by hand. There's no question this is not a transfer print. Very simple on the back, no marks, which I think I would expect. But hey, we're in 18th century China. I'm holding a little bit of history in my hand. It's not the most exciting piece in here, but in this shop, is it maybe the oldest piece? Do you know? It could well be.
With no ticket on the plate either, it's time to strike a deal with Helen and Henry.
Helen, hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
I think I found something 18th century, which is quite nice. It's a little Chinese plate. I also found some Victorian milk glass lustres. There are no price tags on them. And I know where I would like them to be, so it's all about just trying to figure out if we're on the same page.
OK.
Would you take, for plate and lustres, sub £60?
I'd probably drop to 55, but I probably couldn't do any less on that because of the listers.
Let's do 55. Are you sure?
Yeah,
100%?
Yeah, happy with that.
Helen,
Brilliant.
55.
Thank
You're
you.
a legend. And now, who's really in charge? Is it you or is it Henry?
The boss.
It's Henry, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, Henry, thank you very much. 55.
Natasha's paid £5 for the plate and 50 for the lustres, leaving her with £145.
Thank you very much. Lovely. Thank
Great.
you, Helen.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye, Henry.
Bye-bye, fella. Arr.
Steady.
Better pack those carefully, Natasha. Back with James.
Yeah.
Still on the prowl.
Now, what's this very unusual item? A shield. That looks very impressive, isn't it? We've got a nice shield-shaped trophy, and it's made of oak. And then we've got copper and brass. What is it for? Aberdare Quoit Association.
Quoits is a garden game in which players toss rings at a stake, called a hob, and is often played on cruises.
I like things like shields and things. They're a sort of decorative thing. They're brilliant. If you want to introduce a country house feel to a house, put one of these in the loo or a lonely corridor or even the kitchen. They look quite good, don't they? Adds a little tone to your home. Anyway, a lovely item there. We'll put that back there. Will it stay or will it go?
Well, if it's going with you, you'll need a price.
Here we are, we've got this lovely, I suppose you'd call it a coffee pot, wouldn't you? When you get a piece of pewter like this, you always hope it's designed by Archibald Knox. Now, Archibald Knox was a Manxman from the Isle of Man. He was of Scottish descent, and he really pioneered this very stylised Celtic design. What have we got on the base? You know, we're looking for something. Liberty's was the great store in London where things were retailed. And yes, it has Tudoric. Now, Tudoric was their designer range for pewter. They had Chimeric, which was silver and gold, and then Tudoric, which was the pewterwares. Probably 1880 to 1910, something like this. And this was made by W.H. Haslers in Birmingham.
It's another one with no price tag.
I'm going to speak to Stephen Elaine. Wish me luck. Now, Stephen Elaine, I've come across this very nice heavy pot. How much?
For you, James, £25.
For you, Steve, I'll buy it at 25, thank you. And I noticed a quoit shield. I've played quoits before. How much is that?
For you today, James, we will do £20.
£20, I'll make that 45.
Sounds like a deal.
Excellent, it does sound like a deal. £45 in all.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much indeed, you two. I bid you farewell.
James, it's been a pleasure having you in the shop. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that business concluded, James is left with £155.
And here I come. Look at that.
On the road, Tasha is in the Daimler.
Do you know, I would miss James driving on my own without him. It's quite sad. However, I can still smell his aftershave.
The distinctive Eau de Braxton. Now, on to our next order of business. Pontypridd and Ragamuffins Emporium.
Right. Here we go.
Spanning several stories of a renovated former bank, there are rich pickings to be found in here. The owner is a familiar face to our trippers, the ever-affable Alan. Tasha has £145 to spend. Anything upstairs?
Oh, this looks antique-y. Oh, I love it. I wonder where we are. Are we in that sort of Black Forest region? Because carved oak leaves, that's what that always makes me think of. But I don't think it really matters where we are so much, more when we are. And I think that this mirror has quite a nice bit of age to it. I do like that paper backing, which is definitely original. That's been there for, what, 120 years, something like that? Are we in the Edwardian era? The mirror itself, if I've said this once, I've said it a million times. A beveled edge on a mirror is a sign of quality. No need for it. It just adds a certain flair. So a nice old mirror, a nice old beautifully carved frame. And now to the price. And they have dropped the price, it would appear, from 95 to 48. Is there any more? Or have they already hit rock bottom?
Only one way to find out, I suppose.
It's knobbly interior design, and that, for whatever reason, is appealing to me.
You do you, then. Ah,
Here we are, Ragamuffins.
is Mr. Braxton arriving?
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing with these stairs?
God, how many stairs can you get in a building?
If you can bear one more flight, there's actually quite cool stuff upstairs.
That's one staircase too many for me, I'm afraid.
You're defeated by a flight. What's wrong with you?
He needs to work on his cardio. Right, let's get shopping.
We've got 4 bronze figures here, and I've got Matthew here, What else have I got? Matthew, Mark, probably Luke and John, the apostles.
Actually, these four are known as the evangelists, as they wrote the Gospels.
They look like bronze, but I'm looking around here. I don't think they are bronze. I think they're a resin. They're a bronze resin on a hard stone marble base. But I look at the back here and I've got Escort J. Clack, 1970. So quite late, isn't it? Of course, bronze figures are very expensive to cast. And I can imagine these were provided maybe for chapels or homes. And they're very nicely done. I'm going to take them over to Alan and see what he can do on them. Come on, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Oh, Alan. I found these figures.
They're nice, aren't they?
Yeah. Price-wise, Alan?
I was looking at £35 a figure, but I could do them as a job lot for the 4.
Would £80 buy them?
No, but 90 would.
Go on, give me a hand. Give me a hand.
Okay.
Now, I really want to buy another item as well, Alan.
Well, something's just come in, literally 10 minutes ago. It hasn't even made it to the internet yet. So this is a Bernard Moss ceramic from the 60s, 70s. Mevagissey pottery.
Now, I know Mevagissey, that's in Cornwall, isn't
Cornwall.
it? Now, we've heard of, great potters like Lucy Ree, Bernard Leach. Cornwall is well known for this, and it would have been a great sort of tourist item, wouldn't it? You would have bought a novelty thing like this to take back home. What price could this be, Alan?
He could be 20.
£20? 110 by my basic arithmetic.
Correctamundo.
110.
Thank you.
Count it. Thanks a lot, Alan. Lovely seeing you again.
Hope you do well.
Well, I've done well in the past. I'm sure you won't let me down, Alan.
Take care, James.
Bye.
90 on the bronzed statuettes and 20 on the Mevagissey leaves James with £45. Downstairs now, Tasha's still hunting for more.
Do you know, I never look at jewellery. But if I were to choose a ring, it would be this one, because, yes, my suspicions were correct. I could just tell from the box that it's big enough to go on my finger, which means it's big, okay? We're talking size P or something like that. But I really like the style. So Art Deco, the shape of the stone here. Well, it's not a stone, actually. It's mineral malachite, but it's just that really vibrant green. Now, there are some marks on the inside of the band. Frustratingly, I can't make them out. So that could be a maker. But the one word that hasn't rubbed off is sterling. So the label says malachite ring, vintage silver. The auction house, if I take it there, doesn't have to question that because a mark is a mark. Sterling means sterling. This is marked up at £38. I love it. I never buy rings. I don't think I'm going to ponder it too much. I think I'm just going to say, I found a ring that fits. And you know what they say, if the ring fits... No, that's not a saying. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go for it. Oh, I hope there is a deal to be done. I'm in it.
Better track down Alan. He's around here somewhere.
Alan, hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm so pleased to be here. I've never been here before. I've found 2 contenders. The cheapest thing is a silver and malachite ring. So that's 38. I really like a carved mirror adorned with leaves. I think it's humble but very attractive.
Yeah.
That's priced up at 48. So 38, 48.
The malachite ring, it's 38. We can squeeze that at 25.
Okay, cool.
The mirror, I can do that for 35.
So 25 plus 35 is £60.
It certainly is.
It's a deal!
Thank you.
Oh, Alan, thank you very much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
With those 2 lots in the old bag, Tasha is left with £85.
What's in the box?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Today's shopping's done. Let's get back to the motor.
I need to know at the end of this day what's in James's jar.
What's in my jar?
What's in James's
the
jar?
restorative bar of wine gum.
Sweeties!
This is the source of my power.
So that's your secret.
That is my secret.
Sweeties. I can't wait to see what's in James's jar tomorrow.
It'll be a surprise.
I just cannot wait. I'm on the edge of my dealer seat.
You and me both, eh? Nighty-night. It's another glorious day with Tasha and James in the Daimler.
We're still in Wales. We won't be here forever, but while we're here, the weather has been good to us.
The sun has got his hat on again.
But will it last? Because isn't Wales that kind of country? It's sunny right now, and it'll probably be pouring later, won't it?
Oh, you doubter, you. This is the Riviera of England, isn't it?
Well, it's it. It's Wales.
What? Is it? What?
Oh dear. Good thing you're driving, Tasha. Our trippers have had one fruitful day of shopping so far. Tasha picked up an 18th century Chinese porcelain plate, a pair of Victorian lustres, a Black Forest wall mirror, and a malachite set silver ring.
I really like the style. So Art Deco.
Leaving her with £85. While James bags 4 evangelist statuettes, a Mevagissey pottery nodding head, a Tudoric pewter coffee pot, and an oak shield quoits trophy,
That looks very impressive, isn't it?
giving him £45 for today.
How are you finding the car?
Well, I'm quite in love with it, actually. My favourite thing thus far is the colour, the racing green.
It's cool, isn't it? Do you wear green? Because you're wearing black today, aren't
I've tried to go quite Gallic. I've tried to be a Gaul.
Oh, sort of Asterix.
Well, I was thinking more Francois Hardy, but yeah, sure, Asterix. If you're seeing Asterix, something's gone terribly wrong in my hotel room.
James, you smooth talker, you know just what the ladies want to hear. Before we get stuck into more shops, time for a slight diversion. Tasha's deposited James in Penarth. This elegant seaside town holds a special place in the annals of British sporting history. And James is meeting open water swimmer Sophie Smith to learn why.
Hello, Sophie.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. So where are we in front of?
So this is Penarth,
Penarth.
and this is Penarth Pier, and this is a very special place because this is where the first person to ever swim across the Bristol Channel from Wales to England, this is where she departed from.
Who was this person who swam?
So the lady who swam this, her name was Kathleen Thomas. She was 21 years of age, and she waded in at around 4:15 in the morning on the 5th of September 1927 to try her luck at swimming successfully over there. Many had tried,
Yeah.
None had succeeded, and she was the first to do it.
In 1927, the suffragettes were still fighting hard for equal rights. But despite their best efforts, women were seen as inferior to men. So when Kathleen announced her attempt to swim across the treacherous Bristol Channel, she was met with incredulity. If a man couldn't do it, how could a mere woman pull it off?
I understand you're a swimmer too, Sophie.
I'm a swimmer, and I swam the English Channel as a solo last year.
Wow.
Last July. So, but I look at people like Kathleen, and it's such an inspiring story.
Yeah.
And I'm proud, really, to be able to do that. It's sort of in her footsteps.
So when you swam the channel, do you drink and eat things while you're doing that?
Yeah, so you have to feed. What I used was a liquid feed, so it's carbohydrate. Kathleen herself had a beef tea. And chocolates. That's what powered her swim.
So it's not seamless progress swimming in the sea, is it?
No, swimming in the sea is quite a different beast because of currents, because of tides, sometimes there's seaweed. So in Kathleen's case, these are such strong tides. She will have been pushed one way and pushed the next. It's a bit like swimming in syrup.
Yeah.
Or, you don't feel that you can really make much progress. So she will have had a lot of that on this swim.
Yeah. And one day, will you try and do this?
I'll certainly give it a try.
Let's put in some practice now, shall we?
Come on, then. Let's start training.
Blimey. After setting off at 4:15 a.m, the 11-mile crossing would take Kathleen a gruelling 7 hours and 20 minutes. With the brutal currents deflecting her every stroke, she swam the equivalent of 22 miles. Beef broth and chocolate sustained her as she swam through the dark. And when she finally made land at 11:35, she'd achieved something nobody thought possible.
So this is
Like the beef.
beside the seaside.
Oh, nice swimmers, James, old bean.
Do you mind if I
Yeah.
just take my shoes off? Because
Ahoy!
oh, hello,
Don't you both look
hello.
fantastic?
Look at this. Oh,
James, you look particularly fetching, I have to say.
thank you, thank you.
You've been learning about Kathleen Thomas, of course,
Yeah.
and you'll have heard that she was sent off with a bit of beef tea and a bit of chocolate. So,
Excellent. Come
can I
on.
interest you, James?
Beef tea for me.
A bit of beef tea.
I'll politely decline, thanks.
No beef tea.
No tea, no tea for you.
I think I might pour myself one actually and watch you go in. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look after him, Busby.
I will do.
Make it to Bristol, won't you?
Rather you than me, James.
Go on. Get in. Oh, he's in. Amazing, James.
Yeah. At a time of inequality, when women's rights were seriously restricted, Kathleen's success was an inspirational example of how women were not only equal to men, but could also surpass them.
Just make sure you come back. We're not going to Bristol. Oh, backstroke. Good plan.
Now, we still have one more shop to get to, so after James has towelled off, we'll make our way to Monmouth. This historic town is well known for its connection to Henry V and its iconic 13th century gatehouse bridge, which spans the River Monnow. Now, once more into the breach, dear friends, at the Phoenix Yard.
OK, so what do we expect then? Reclamation?
I think, floorboards, don't know, fireplaces.
Yeah, that kind of jazz.
What do you want to buy? Something cheap?
Cheap and cheerful. Cheap but not common.
Not common. We don't do common.
Architectural salvage and reclaimed antiques are the order of the day here. It's the greenest way to shop. Dave is the chap in charge.
So we got all these lovely pine chests here. And then we got this rather nice box here. Now, this looks like a blanket box, but it's got things inside it. This is a sort of carpenter's box. I've got a nice friend at home called Ray, and Ray worked in a joinery workshop, and he did his apprenticeship. And one of the first things you did was you made your box for your tools, and it's got some lovely mitered corners, and then we got the scribed, visible mortise joints, and it's been painted, and the paint has gone with the age. It's lovely. What have we got in here? We got a lovely spirit level. We're almost spot on. No, we're not. So we're on a slight slant here. Lovely piece there. This is about £2.50. I'm afraid for somebody else. It's a lovely box, but not for me. Too pricey.
Moving on, Natasha has a bit more dosh than James, £85.
Smells great in here. Smells waxy. Everything's had a nice coat of wax. That smells sensational.
Smells expensive.
£580. But that's the thing. Where are you going to find a piece of furniture this size, that functional, for any less brand new? Can this come home with me?
Just as useful as the day it was made. It will find a good home, I'm sure. Watch out, Dave. He's behind you.
Now, I heard a rumour that your name is Handsome Dave. Where do you get that from, Dave?
Well, it's just from my good looks and charm. This is a Mobo horse from late 1940s, early 50s.
OK.
Early tin plate. If the child sits on the seat, the legs go down and it'll walk along at the same time. Unfortunately, it has got a bit of a squeak once a drop of oil put on it.
This is a father and son team who invented this. This is the Bronco.
Yeah.
The Bronco horse, and they came from Erith, near the Dartford Tunnel. Now, the bad news is, Dave, all I have is 45 quid. Will that buy it?
It will.
I'm going to give you 45 quid.
Lovely job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Never look a gift horse in the mouth, eh?
Thank you. Hopefully you'll do very well.
Tasha's still shopping.
Oh, I do like these clocks. Now, I'm quite loath to pick it up because it looks like it is carved or moulded wood, so it should be light, but just a bit fragile. Yeah, light, but fragile. Let me just show it to you in all its splendour. Look at that. I think that the young people say, because I'm so old, I think they would say it's a bit extra.
A bit what?
There's no need for all this flamey action. Sunburst by name and sunburst by nature. I mean, quite literally, flames are bursting out of the frame. This is early 20th century, so we're probably talking about 90 years old, something like that. I'm quite taken by it because I would give it house room. They're ever popular at auction, and the price, there it is, facing me, £65. I'm not afraid, which is actually quite a nice feeling. It's a horrible feeling when you find something you love and then you fear the price tag. There is no fear. I love it. So if there's movement on that, excuse the pun, I think I'd be quite happy to take it to auction, and I think that James would be able to see why, because I think he'd be quite into it as well. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, it's very over the top. It puts me in mind of James, actually. No, I'm just kidding. He's not over the top at all. Actually, yeah, he's subtle as a brick, isn't he?
He is a man of refined tastes.
Look at this. Who would have thought Handsome Dave was into flower arranging?
Who would have thought he wasn't? Yeah, listen.
Am
Are you judging books? Are you judging books by their covers?
Isn't that naughty of me?
Oh, that smells good.
And the colours. Look at that. That is luminescent, isn't it?
It is. It is. That could actually be your colour, looking at it against your skin tone. Because, look, it doesn't go very nicely with mine. I'm more of a fennel gal. You smell great.
Go on. You need to... You're lagging a bit behind, Natasha, aren't you?
Am I?
Go on.
I thought we were on level pegging.
How many items have you bought?
4. Well, have you done a deal?
5.
Oh, well, you keep sniffing the flower arrangements then.
You keep hunting.
I'll go sniff out a deal.
Good luck. Good luck.
Time to find Dave and do a deal on that clock.
Dave.
Hi there, you okay?
Hi, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fantastic. I'm quite taken by a clock.
Yeah.
You'll know the one because it's the most over-the-top clock. It's the big sunburst piece.
The sunburst one.
Anytime I see one, I want to buy it, and I think you've priced it really fairly at 65.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm up against, Dave? James, the man who can. So, can you do anything better? What's the best price?
Well, we've got to give James a bit of competition.
We do.
So I think I'll do it at 35 for you.
Oh, I'm sunbursting with joy over
Not
here.
a problem
Dave,
at all.
35
Okay,
pounds.
thank you very much.
Very generous, Dave. That leaves Natasha with £50.
Thank you ever so much, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
See you again.
And you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's both our experts shopped up now, with the Bronco horse for James and the sunburst clock for Natasha.
Right, here we go.
Lovely man.
Thanks again.
That Handsome David.
Very handsome. Oh, it's spitting a bit, actually.
Yeah, what's your gilding?
Oh, don't. You're scaring me.
Yeah, I've got to watch my rust.
Oh, we bought very different things.
Very.
Very.
Very. Huh. Well, the weather had to turn sometime. The car's across the river, so the experts have hopped on a ferry.
Can you imagine this on a summer's day? Because this weather is absolutely dreadful.
It's really going down. I think it's nice being on open water. There's something very restful about water.
There is. Oh, you're feeling rested. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because we still have quite a bit ahead of us, you know. We started in Wales. We're heading to the Midlands. But you know where we end up, don't you?
Ah, Bonnie of Scotland.
What can I say?
Bonnie of
The
Scotland.
dear green place. But that is yet to come. That is yet to come.
Absolutely. We have an auction to get to next. Time for some shut-eye. Ooh, it's exciting. Auction day is upon us and I can hardly wait to get started.
Look at this. Isn't this lovely?
It is so lovely. It's not your typical auction house, is it?
And it's all in this barn.
After shopping throughout South Wales, Tasha and James have carted their goods into England and made their way to the fabled city of Winchester. Andrew Smith and Son auctioneers are hosting us today with bidders online and in the room. Nicholas Jarrett is wielding the gavel.
£60 in selling.
James spent every penny at his disposal, £200 on 5 lots. What stands out for you, Nicholas?
We all really like the Mevagissey figure. It's a good, typically 1950s figure. Cornish ware is always popular, it's brightly coloured. It's a good little object and I think it ought to do well.
Tasha was a touch more frugal, spending just £150 on her 5 lots. Thoughts, Nicholas?
The milk glass lustres, they're good objects. They're just a bit out of fashion. One of the problems is they're great dust traps and people don't want the bother of having to keep all this stuff clean and tidy. But hopefully, with the following wind, they might do quite well today.
Thank you kindly. Let's take our seats. It's about to begin.
Right. Here we go.
Here we are. So you did very well on the first leg. I am chasing your tail, I think is the phrase.
You're tailgating. If you can't see my mirrors, James, you're driving too close.
Getting us started, Natasha's 19th century Chinese porcelain plate.
Start me at 30. 30.
Oh, he's looking for 30. Well, I only need 5.
£30. Got some age. 30 I have. 5 anywhere. 35. 40. 5. At £45. Finished at 45. Any more?
A canny buy that served up £40 profit.
I'm delighted.
It's nice to have, your gut feeling ratified by, hard cash, isn't it?
Let's see if James can get off the mark too with his Tudoric pewter coffee pot.
I have to start you here at £20. It's online at 25 we have in the room. 30 and 5, 40 at £40 and 5.
It's a gentleman in a chair.
55 now. 60 at 65. New bidder.
It's got a good look, hasn't it?
You started a more.
And 5.
Oh, here we go. 100.
Back in at £100.
100.
110 it is then. At £110, you're all done at 110.
Bravo! Well spotted, James.
It just goes to show the stuff is out there.
Can Tasha's Victorian lustres dazzle our bidders?
At £50, 60 we have now. At 60 and 5. It's all online at the moment at 65.70 now and 5, 80 and 5 at £80 and 5, 90, 95.
This is a surprise result.
Never doubt your own expertise, Natasha.
I will sell for £100 you out.
Well, they certainly lit up the room.
Great price. Good profit.
Lusty, lusty, lusty.
James again now, with his 1930s Coit's Shield trophy.
£20 for it. 20. No? £10 for this. Yes, at 10.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
We'll sell that 10 at £10. All done.
Oh, no.
£10
Doesn't matter.
At £10. All done.
Didn't wash its face. In fact, it only got halfway there.
A loss of £10 is
I can
nothing.
If I bought that Jill for £100, I would be crying.
You'd be crying into your coits.
I would be.
Tasha's 19th century Black Forest wall mirror next under the hammer.
We'll submit 20 for it. £20. Do for the loo. £20.
It would do for the loo.
Would do for me.
It would do beautifully for the loo.
At £20. It's online at 20. Anybody? 25.
Come on, it's gorgeous.
We've got 25 in the room and we're selling. At £25 you're all out.
Another small loss. Disappointing.
It's not a classic. It's not a classic result.
You got to lose something.
You do.
Come on, play the game. You can't win on everything.
So true, James. Look, even the Mevagissey figure is nodding in agreement.
We're up to 120 online. 130, 140. It's £130 ladies bid at £130 in the room at £130. 140.
That's fantastic.
At £130. Anybody else in at 130? You sure? At 130 then selling at 130.
Woohoo! Profit like that certainly puts a smile on your face.
Rather cool.
I did like it, but I was not expecting £130.
Nor was I.
That's fantastic.
Certainly is. Can Tasha get herself back in it with her Art Deco silver ring?
We're got bid on 20 online, 5 somewhere, 25, new bidder, 30 and 5.
Oh.
5.
Are you bidding? Yes, 35.
Hey.
30, 45 it's left to. At 45 online. At 45, 50 though. At 50 and 5. At £50.
Hey,
was
stop it.
expecting
Put the hammer down now.
Okay, that's 50.
No, let's have a
A
call.
joke's a joke.
£50 and selling at 50.
Double the money. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I was panicking about my own taste there because that was my taste, and I'm so pleased.
Is it your colouring green?
No, it's my no, it's my fat fingers.
I've seen sausages smaller than that.
James's biggest spend next, the Evangelist statuettes.
I've got a bid here of 50. Take a fiver on it. 55, 60 and 5. That's £65. That's £65. Nobody else? 65. All done. That's 65 then.
Such a pity, and that's the gospel truth.
I can't tell. What was that?
Win some, lose some.
Tasha's last chance, the mid-century sunburst clock.
I have to start you at £50.
Oh,
At 50 and 5, could I say?
You're going to do 150 for
I'm
that.
surprised.
65, 75, 85. 80 with me then, at £80. At 85 came in online. 90 with me. 95 at 95. 100 then. It's with me at £100. 100 on the book at £100 and selling. £100 you done.
Like rays of sunshine. Profits galore.
100 back. That's good. That's a great profit, Natasha.
It's good chat. It's good chat.
But James has one horse left in this race, his Mobo Bronco.
Well, I'm going to start you here. We'll start me at £40.
Right, here we go.
Go on, raise them.
He's struggling a wee bit.
20 then. At 20 I have. At £20. And 5, 25.
Oh, right, hold on.
At £25. Finished at 25. Ladies bid. Selling at 25.
Ah, that's unfortunate. It's a good piece, gone cheap.
I didn't need another loss.
No, we
because
never do.
I felt I was nudging ahead of you, but you came back strongly with the clock. You see, sunny things are good things, aren't they?
Let's remember that. Let's remember that.
Sunny is good.
Come on, Sonny Jim.
Come on.
Right.
Time to do our sums, because this has been almost too close to call. James started with £200, and after sale room fees have been deducted, he finishes this leg with £278.80. But Natasha, who also started with the same sum, has £312.40p after costs, making her today's winner, with all profits going to children in need. That victory puts Natasha 2-0 ahead in our best of 5, but there are still 3 more auctions up for grabs.
I've won that one.
I think I would like a recap.
Right. I'll see if I can arrange that. I don't want you to have a recap.
Next on the trip,
Yo.
Was that you twerking?
Tash is in a tight spot.
I think this is the smallest shop I've ever been to.
James goes with his gut,
Oh, Kayla bottles. I always used to like Kayla bottles.
and things escalate at the auction.
140, 150, 160.
He's just saying numbers.